Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we are going to be talking about when to take money out of your Amazon business, or actually, for that matter, any business. When should you take money out? When should you reinvest? And if you're interested in this sort of stuff, the entrepreneur type content, make sure you are subscribed with those notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. Right. So I get this question, I actually get this quite a lot, and often I give very similar and probably quite a very basic answer, unfortunately. And I really realized this today when I started going through the numbers, that I should have gone into a lot more detail with some of the answers I've given around reinvesting profits into your business. I've always said, reinvest as much as you can afford to reinvest for as long as you possibly can. Take as little out of your company, especially in these starting stages, that you can afford, as literally as little as possible. And I know that's true, and many other people know that's true, but what I want to explain to you is why that is true, in terms of logically, why that makes sense for you, and how that can, by taking a little amount out of your company, rather than taking maybe a little bit more, is going to really benefit you and help you to scale your company, help you to make more income and be able to, do whatever you need to do, okay, in the future. Just kind of be patient with it. So I've wrote down some figures, and for argument's sake, we're going to keep these quite basic figures. So kind of don't hate on me for keeping it really basic. It's just because I'm kind of a basic guy. So what we're going to say for the purpose of this is that for every £5 we invest, we're going to get £10 back. So a £5 kind of profit. Now, of course, that will be different. It depends on the business model. It depends if you're doing like something like e-commerce, Amazon. It depends on your profit margin. So many factors, but for every basically £1 you make, you get £2 back, just to keep it easy. And of course, if you want that to be £5 to £7.50, you can do the maths yourself. It's nice and easy. Okay, we're going to start with £2,000. So we're investing £2,000 into this kind of startup business. And using this kind of formula of times by 2, we will get back £4,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to call that one investment cycle. The next investment cycle is when we invest that £4,000 and we then turn that into £8,000 through the same timesing by 2 formula. So that's going to be our second cycle, our second investment cycle. So we're going to do this a further 3 times, so 5 in total. And actually that ends up being £64,000. So we go 2 to £4,000, £4,000 to £8,000, £8,000 to £16,000, £16,000 to £32,000, £32,000 to £64,000. So from that initial investment of £2,000, going through 5 reinvestment cycles, we get to £64,000 with a grain of salt, okay? So that's a huge increase. That is a ginormous increase. So what happens if you were to go through the exact same reinvestment cycle, 5 cycles, but each time you would take out £1,000, okay? You might think to yourself, oh, you'll only lose £5,000, right? You'll be able to take £5,000 out. That's not true. The impact of taking out just £1,000, particularly at the initial stages, like the very beginning stages, makes a ginormous impact, an absolutely ginormous impact. So let's go through that, right? First investment cycle, we invest £2,000, just like before, but instead of getting £4,000 back, we're going to actually take away £1,000. So we're left with £3,000, okay? 4,000 minus 1,000, 3,000. We can then only reinvest £3,000. So we reinvest £3,000, we're able to make £6,000 with that, but then again, we take away 1,000. So second investment cycle, we take away £1,000, so we're left with £5,000. We do it again, we reinvest it, make 10,000, take again another 1,000 out, which is going to be £9,000. I had to think about that. 10 minus 1. So £9,000 because we've taken our £1,000 on that investment cycle. We do it one more time. 9,000 into 18,000. Again, minus the 1,000 that we're gonna take from the business. So we've got, what did I say? 17,000 now. 17,000 again. We're going to times that by 2, and we're going to take another 1,000. So 34,000. We're going to take £1,000 off, and we are left with £33,000. Right, that's our 5th investment cycle. So it's exactly the same number of reinvestments, but we've taken £1,000 each time. So instead of having £64,000, we've taken no money out of the business, we're left with £33,000, but we've only taken £5,000 out of the business. But the difference between the 33,000 and obviously the 64,000 is £31,000. So by taking 5,000, right, just £5,000 out, we've cost ourselves £31,000 of potential earned income. Now you can see, right? Now you can see why just these tiny little amounts you're taking, like, oh, it's only 1,000 here, only 1,000 there, whatever, right? Compared to the amount you're making, you can see now how that can drastically affect your income in the future. So if you were to take zero money, then you're able to scale up extremely quickly so that you then, look, you know, you can take money out of the business. And if you take £1,000 out of £64,000, that's a very small percentage. It's not, you know, a large percentage of your income. But when you take £1,000 out of £4,000, that's 25%. So you're taking a very large chunk of money out. So that's why at the beginning stages, you want to take as little out of your company as possible, because the earlier you take money, the bigger the impact that's going to have, the bigger the domino that is going to kind of fall. What am I trying to say? So, like, you know, the little dominoes, a little small domino hits over a bigger one, hits over a bigger one, hits over a bigger one, and the massive one tumbles down, right? Think of that like if you take money out of your business early on. It's a small little domino at the time, but it turns up into a massive one as you reinvest and as you grow as a company. So what I want to tell you guys is that if you're starting, particularly something like a physical inventory business, like we do with Amazon and e-commerce, then at the beginning stages, I know you're trying to do this to make money and to maybe go on holiday, to do the nice things in life. Just if you don't need the money, right? If you don't need the money for paying bills or whatever it's going to be, reinvest it. Don't just take it into your bank account just because you want to see the digits, right? Don't do that. Keep the money in your company to reinvest it. Speak with your accountant to see which is the most tax efficient way to manage your money and things like that. But please, guys, don't waste your money at the early stages, because that's how you can actually fail in business. You can take too much out and you maybe not be able to afford to scale. Whereas if you would have just kept the money in, you would have way more to be able to use, right? If you have a business model where you know if you put this in, you're going to get this out, it makes sense, right? It makes sense to just reinvest as much as you can. And this is exactly what I do. Yes, I spend money on stuff, right? Like I just bought like a new car and stuff like that. Like, yes, I'll spend money, but I'm doing it now once that amount, right? That amount that I'm spending is a much smaller percentage now than it would have been 6 months ago, because I've been able to scale businesses since that point, so that as in a percentage wise of income, it's a much smaller percent, so it will have a small impact on the future earnings. It will have an impact for sure, but it's an impact that I'm willing to take because I want the enjoyment of those particular things, right? I want to go on holiday. So if you want to go on holiday, cool, go on holiday. Just be aware that, you know, it will have an impact on your business, especially in those early stages, right? Once you've got past those early stages, you're making some good money, yeah, do what you want with it. But there we go. So hopefully that had made sense, guys. You can see if you just take £5,000 out of that reinvestment cycle, you are basically costing yourself potentially £30,000, £31,000, given this example. Work this out with your own figures. So if you have a particular profit margin that you work with, you know, a return on investment of 2x return on investment, 3x return on investment, depends on what you're doing, then just work out what money you put in, what money you get back. You know, if you were to reinvest it, what were you to make? Do it for 6 months, do it for a year, and just work it out, because you'll see the numbers. Then work out taking out a salary. Work out how much you'd be losing out on taking out that salary, and think to yourself, do I really need this money right now? Can I wait 6 months to be able to take money out of the business? Can I continue to stay in my job where I'm earning the money to pay my rent, to pay my mortgage, to pay my bills, so I can reinvest this money in my company? Just think about that before you make any rash decisions. Of course, I don't want you guys to kind of sit there in a job that you hate for ages, when you know that you're making good money, but just do the maths, make sure you're aware of what you're doing, because if you want to grow a big business, you're going to have to reinvest as much as you can for as long as you can. So I hope you have enjoyed that. If you've got any questions about that, if you like that video, we need to smash that thumbs up button. And of course, make sure you're subscribed with those notifications turned on. I want to do one more little shout out for this video. If you haven't already, the main video on my channel, which is an Amazon FBA video, like a whole long video, I'm giving away my Amazon course on that video. We've had, I think, 450 unique commenters. We've had loads of commenters, but like 450 individual people that have commented. On the 500th person that comments, right? If you've not done this, you need to go and do it. I'll be giving away one copy of my Amazon course, my Amazon FBA course, to one lucky commenter, and a whole bunch of other stuff like Jungle Scout memberships. There's so much stuff. So make sure you go onto that. We're nearly over that 500 unique commenters place. So I'll link that down below as well. Thank you ever so much for following the journey, of course, watching the video, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.